What's up guys, it's Ozzy and I'm back again with another educational video, and this is the topic that I'm going to be hitting on for a couple of days just because I know customers have questions and I want to answer all these questions. And one of the questions I always get asked is, Ozzy, if it's true that there's mold all around us because we live in Florida, then how do you know that the mold level inside my house is elevated or not, especially if I don't see any immediate problems? And the answer is simple. A mold inspector, whenever we collect a mold sample inside of your house, we always should, some people don't, but we should collect a sample outside. And the outside sample for me and for my guys at Air Doctors is one of the most important samples that we could collect because it tells us two things. Number one, it gives us a spore count. So it lets us know how many spores are in your immediate area around your house. And it also gives us species count. It lets us know what types of species are outside normally going around your yard. And with that information, whatever sample we collect inside your house, whether it's the kitchen or the living room or a bedroom, we can compare the spore count to see if it's higher or lower inside your house. And we can compare the species to see if the species inside your house are also found normally in your outside environment, therefore making the mold test, clean or not positive. So I have two reports here from two clients, one in Kendall and one in Cutler Bay, and I wanted to share them with you. This is the client in Kendall, and as you can see, this is the outside control sample, this column here, and I want to show you, look how many spores are in the outside environment. So that's a lot of spores, and these are spores that you're ingesting every time you open a door, you go to your car, you go to work, you're ingesting all of these spores, so it's non-toxic. They're normally found everywhere, but 130 spores were found outside, and these are the different species. And inside the house, it was normal. Why was it normal? Because only 76 spores were found in the house, and the same spores that were found in the house are also found outside. So this client doesn't have a mold issue in the house. The spore count is lower and the species are the same as outside that she's exposed to on a daily basis. So if you don't get allergies and if you don't have problems going outside, you shouldn't have problems inside your house because the count and the species are the same or lower. This is another client in Cutler Bay from yesterday, and she did come positive, and this is why. The outside count, there was less species of spores around this client's house, but it was a 680. And the inside of her house was at 140. So the actual spore count inside the house was lower. So if that's true, then why did it pop positive or with a problem? And the reason is because 110 spores of Stachybotrys were found. And Stachybotrys is a toxic type of mold. Why does she have a toxic type of mold in her house? It's because her AC leaked and she had no idea. So the closet where the AC sits was full of toxic mold, black mold. And every time the AC turned on, those spores from within the drywall were going up through her air handler and being distributed through the ducts. That's why she has a positive mold report. But it's not because she had extremely high spore count. It's because she has a species that doesn't belong there, that is not found outside. And this is what a mold inspector does. A mold inspector, just so that you are aware, should always collect the sample outside, because if we don't, we have nothing to guide us. We have nothing to go by. We have nothing to compare. So if they just collect the sample inside the house, it's always going to have mold, and they can easily scare you and say, yep, look, you have mold, here it is. But that's not a true representation of what's going on without the outside control sample. So if you hire a mold inspector that's not Air Doctors for whatever reason, just make sure they take a sample outside and make sure you see the report and are able to compare the outside column with the inside column to know if your spore count is elevated or if you have species that don't belong inside your house. And that is it, guys. Always be safe out there, and remember that we perform mold assessments like the report you just saw, and we also write, if you have mold, we write a remediation protocol so that a mold removal company can follow those steps and remove the mold. Air Doctors does not remove mold in itself, but if you have any leaks or if you have any mold in your house and is looking for a good mold removal company, you can always reach out to me. I'm gonna leave my number on the comment section above or below, so you can call me or text me, and I can refer you a company that removes mold that we know and that we trust and that we've used before in the past. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day, and be safe out there. Bye-bye.